And we are back. There is a look at Courage hanging out in the crowd. Everybody ready to get this one going. OpTic Gaming taking on FaZe. And Ben, I'll be honest, I can't wait to see this bad blood battle between Crim6 and Aches. I asked Crim before the match, will you do a pregame interview with Aches? He said, absolutely not. We'll talk after the game.
Oh, okay. I love it. The rivalry already there. Again, you know, the rivalry between the two organizations is massive as well. You know, you think Call of Duty in any aspect, you've got FaZe versus OpTic Gaming, and that's what makes this final just have that extra added spice to it as well.
Former teammates facing off. This is a jam-packed game with so many fantastic slayers. We're going to be opening things up with Aches. Of course, we got the news late last night. Aches cutting his hand. He's definitely in pain from what we saw in the booth. Is it affecting his gameplay? It looks like he's gotten used to it. Heating up in the last few rounds. Off the break, he's going to get a big kill on Crim6 as Sensor is also in that kill feed. Sensor opening up 2-0, and there is number 3.
Yeah, nicely played from Sensor. He's actually going to be jumping on the hill. He's going to pick up another kill. One more underneath in that pipeline. He was not going to see that. Nade shot is going to be lying on that hill for OpTic Gaming, but you know, this first hill, you hear it every time we've casted solo this weekend. You're not really expected to rack up a lot of points. It's just, can you stay alive and keep the contestants high?
Nade shot trying to break this hard point. He is inside, but only for a second. Crim now pushing through from the front door. Sensor inside. A teammate just went into the tunnel. Nice job by FaZe here, putting multiple people in positions to hop in. 12-5 at the start. FaZe off to the early lead, but that is going to change in just a moment as we're about to move to hardpoint number 2.
You know, we're talking a lot about Sensor and how he has improved and how this could potentially be one of his best events he's ever had. He's kicking things off here in the grand final, 7-3 with 4 captures as well. Sadly, he does go down. Scumpy's going to be on that hardpoint for OpTic Gaming. You can see just how back and forth this game is right now, Puckett. Only, what, a 1-point differential. It's actually going to be tied now on this hill. He is going to be lying on there for FaZe. He's looking at trying to potentially get some kills, and he is going to break that hard point. Nicely played by Apathy.
Slasher, we haven't seen too much of him yet, but he definitely helped Apathy break in for the moment. You see the score basically tied up as we are in hill number 2. But really, it's hill 3 and 4, as Mr. X and Rambo touched on. I want to see who is going to get there first. Slasher just trying to hold it down. Fantastic shots, going to find another player. Sensor in the mix as well. Look at these two opening up with 18 kills combined already.
The good thing now, right now, though, for OpTic Gaming is they do have that favorable spawn, and you can see exactly that. Slasher recognizing he didn't have it, and those red arrows, they're going to immediately rotate down that far left-hand side. OpTic Gaming need to react. They're going to send one blue arrow. I'm not sure who that player actually is. I think that may be it. Scumpy, I think, but Sensor's already going to be there for that rotation. 38-27 is the lead right now for FaZe, and it is going to start to grow on hardpoint number 3.
Scumpy is so close to them right now, but he is not pushed in. Nade shot going to fall as he approaches. Crim6, though, just like that, going to come in. There are 3 players all around Slasher trying to give his teammates spawns. Sensor is going to come up. Nade shot, though, with 2 in the kill feed doing damage. Look at him, 12 and 9 off the break on a 2-kill spree.
Once again, back and forth action, though. These two teams pretty much inseparable at the early stages here of hardpoint. Solar, Formal, he's going to be on that hardpoint right now. There's actually going to be 2 players. Crim's going to be in there as well. Can Crim stay alive? Aches trying to break in for FaZe. Crim jumps up top. Nice use of Exo movement right there as he managed to evade that gunfight and keep OpTic Gaming on that hardpoint.
Ben, I love the energy in this room right now. There was such a minor lead change as OpTic just passed FaZe, and already the crowd getting behind the green wall. Nade shot rotating to the top of the map, but already we're going to see Apathy over here as the new hardpoint is about to drop.
And this is exactly what you heard Rambo and Mr. X talking about. You need to make sure you rotate that quickly. And OpTic Gaming in a break in. Now this could be big for them.
Wow.
They could really start to build themselves a lead here. As Sensor is trying to push down this right-hand side, has the support of Apathy. Apathy is going to have to jump through, but he should be shut down. It's going to be Crim6. Crim6 picks up 1, couldn't find the second, and just like that, FaZe break the setup.
Guess who's inside? It is Sensor, a 3-kill spree as he is moving up the map. Aches at 15 kills, 15 for Slash as well. Apathy very quiet though. Although he's the one rotating early, he's not getting the kills he needs to. Look for him to try and step it up here in the later parts of this game. In fact, I want to see what's going on with him. He's rocking double Exos. He's got that trophy as well as overclock. Shots coming in from all directions as Slasher and Aches all over that kill feed. OpTic gonna have a tough time breaking from the right. Here comes the 3-man push, and Apathy again struggling to finish his kill.
Yeah, he was not able to pick that up. Nade shot on the hill is gonna pick up 1. There should be 1 more pushing. In fact, he's not gonna bother. He's gonna rotate all the way back towards the next rotation as Nade now, with the support of some teammates, is thinking about trying to break this setup. FaZe are already over there. So Nature does need to be a little bit careful. He's going to have a kill in front of him. He is going to pick it up too. One more player pushing from behind. He's going to turn around. Nearly managed to pick that up, but a tied game once again, Puckett. These two teams completely inseparable in the early parts of this game.
Back and forth, back and forth. It is totally tied up 76, and now OpTic up by just one. Sensor trying to take that lead back as FaZe will get 2 kills. 17 and 13. Sensor looking for his 20th on a 3-kill spree once again. Apathy in your kill feed with Aches and Sensor as well as Slasher. Everyone getting their job done at the front, but now OpTic is spawning behind him.
Yeah, that was really nice play from Sensor. He recognized exactly where they were going to be spawning from, but he's going to have multiple players running at him. That was Scumpy and co. Scumpy did manage to break the setup, but immediately went down as Slasher now looking for the scrap time on this hill. Will get challenged by Nadeshot and actually loses the gunfight to Nadeshot, so OpTic Gaming should pick up that scrap time.
Apathy, last man up here from FaZe at this portion of the map. Everyone else spawned in the back building. So Slasher pushing up top middle. Nice intro kill. Hard point in the middle. He's just going to try and watch this lower wall, and we're going to see Sensor inside as well. Sensor going to milk this time, and I like this decision. Back up, give your teammates some spawns, then go for the push.
I just want to point something out. Look at that kill column right now for OpTic Gaming. Nadeshot 25 and 19. Talk about stepping up when you play one of your biggest rivals in Call of Duty as well. Formal 21 and 20. You've got Scumpy 15 and 24, but Crim 21 and 21 as well.
Yeah, you know, at the start of this match, I was kind of talking about the Crim 6 Aches bad blood that might exist here. We didn't even touch on the Nadeshot Aches rivalry.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of rivalry in this game. You know, there's just the organization rivalry, then you have the individual player rivalry in there as well. Nadeshot, though, he is going to break that hard point and should get control.
That's 5 straight kills for OpTic. Look at that.
Nadeshot and Formal both on that hill, but Aches is going to break it. Nicely played. Had this help and support there coming in from Apathy. The hardpoint has now rotated. Scumpy looking to try and get some kills before jumping on that hardpoint.
Great positioning here.
Oh, he does go down, but Nate is there to clean up. Nicely played from Nadeshot.
3:40 left here in game number 1 in our first best of 5. OpTic off to a hot start, going back and forth with FaZe, and OpTic will retake the lead once again. Nadeshot, last man alive though here for OG. Pressure coming in, and Sensor is going to break it. That is his 10th capture.
Yeah, Sensor's going big, and now FaZe are back in the lead. It's just back and forth consistently. Sensor just going to sit in this corner. He is going to get naded out, though. Aches trying to get the contestation, but he just jumped straight towards someone. He gets the kill. Nice around. Aches with the 2-piece. That was massive play from him. Apathy's going to be there as well. He should be able to get control of the hill for FaZe, and FaZe starting to get themselves a small bit of a lead, but the hardpoint's about to rotate. And look at that mini-map, Puckett. It's going to be OpTic who have that rotation down.
Crim finally passing Nadeshot for the top spot as the Slayer for OpTic. Formal in the mix now as well, 27 kills of his own. On the other side, Aches leading all players 34 and 28. 2:46 left on our clock as we have 2 more rotations.
Crim is, you know, every time he looks at that scoreboard, he's going to see Aches above him. He's going to be desperately trying to catch him. That's just the kind of player Crim is. He picks up 1. He's going to find a 2nd as well. Nicely played from him. 3rd player is going to be on the hill. He's going to try and break it himself. Crim 6 with the 3-piece. 1 more there.
No.
This is for the 4-piece. Surely not. Crim, don't do it to him. Be nice. That was just surreal play from him, but Scumpy is also on the hill as well. He's going to rotate around, try and control those spawns.
This is so ridiculously close. A 7-point game. OpTic trying to pull away every time, though. We're seeing Aches and crew bust right back in. Sensor in the mix right now, battling for this hardpoint control. We got about 15 seconds left before it's going to move to the top of the map. Keep your eyes on those blue arrows already. We're going to see some movement from Formal.
Yeah, OpTic Gaming needs to just try and lock this beginning down because the scrap time is going to go to FaZe. They're going to have the lead, but it isn't going to be a big lead by the time it rotates, and OpTic Gaming should get the initial time there, and they will do so. By the time FaZe get there, OpTic Gaming will be back in the lead right now.
Scumpy, last man up here, 3 down for OpTic. They're going to spawn out, and Scumpy going so big. Now OpTic is spawning here to support. That was an enormous 2-piece.
That was so big. That's given OpTic Gaming the spawns. Unfortunately, he's not able to find the 3rd, but OpTic Gaming do have control of the hill still. Crimson is going to try and push up. There's going to be 2 for him. A massive play coming out from OpTic Gaming. He turns around, gets 1 more. There's going to be more play from Crimson. Surely not. Please no. Crimson is playing out of his mind. 43 kills already, Puckett.
He is going nuts. Last time we checked in with him was a minute 30 ago. Since then, he's picked up 10 straight kills, 172, 153. OpTic
No!
now extending their lead to 20 points.
This is unreal play from OpTic on this hill. They are keeping the contestants high and they're picking up a lot of points, and because of that, they built the biggest lead we've seen in this game so far. Last 54 seconds now, Pugget. It's going to go to that last hill, and FaZe, they need this time, and it's going to be down to Apathy in the early stages.
The anchor this time, Scump trying to give OpTic the back spawns. Right now, it's Apathy in the hard point, though.
He needed some help.
Gonna have to push in. Krim taking heavy fire from the front door. 2 players charging in. Sensor inside. His 12th capture now as he's gonna defend himself very nicely. More pressure from both angles. Scumpy trying to break in for OpTic. 24 seconds left. OpTic Gaming so close to locking this up.
FaZe just not getting the support they need. Finally, Formal's going to try and break in the hill. You got Sensor and Slasher on there, but with 16 seconds left, the contestant is still there. And OpTic Gaming are going to pick up game number 1 here in the grand final. And you've got to give some massive props to Crimsix and Scumpy in that game. They both went ham. Crimsix 1 kill away from 50 in 2 seconds. Is he going to get it? No, he isn't, but 49 kills. That is an unbelievable start for the Green Wall in the grand final.
What a job here in game number 1, 191 to 172. After the round-ending kill cam, we got to get the thoughts from Mr. X and Rambo. Boys, how did this go down? What just happened?
I mean, just a phenomenal slaying performance out of Krim and Scum. Scum started off a little slow there, started to look a little bad. I think through the first rotations at Hills, he only had like 19 kills. So he really turned it up in the end. On that first rotation, that third hard point, Scum, they didn't win the rotation, but he was up top on that catwalk just waiting for his teammates to come in.
Yeah, he snuck behind enemy lines. Mainly, he was the only player alive. Instead of challenging and trying to kill players on hardpoint, he played really smart and waited for his teammates to come up. And then as his teammate got a kill, he got a second kill on a hardpoint. I think he got a 2-piece coming down from that little rooftop. And then OpTic took full control of that. And then talking to that importance of that 3rd to 4th rotation, OpTic won, I think, both rotations. Yeah. Correct. OpTic played really, really smart on those rotations. They had the first step. FaZe broke it really quick the first time. And then the second time that Fort Hill came around, it was just back and forth, nonstop. And it looked like FaZe was about to bring it back and tie it up. And then OpTic just, I believe Krim had to get that crazy 2 or 3 piece, breaking it in as well. So it was just crazy nonstop action at Fort Hill, which was probably the scrappiest Fort Hill I've seen so far.
Right, so going into that second rotation of Hills, I actually have it written down. It was 147, 151 in favor of FaZe, as it was rotating up top. At the end of that next hill, it was 179, 153 in favor of OpTic. So FaZe only getting 2 seconds on that hill. Right. That's pretty much what decided the game right there.
Right, I mean, and to come back on the point as well, I think this is the first hardpoint we've seen where slaying was really not the factor.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams, I think it was like 5 or 6 kill different. I mean, Krim had a crazy, amazing performance, but he only went like plus 10 or 12. He died a lot, he killed a lot.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing for both teams. No players are really slacking. I mean, we saw like kind of like some of the players are not killing as much as the start of the game, but they all brought it back. And as you look at your score right now, it was pretty even. So it was really just about those clutch rotations on the Fort Hill that really made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, just clutch rotations right after OpTic Gaming. You take that first hard point against FaZe in the grand finals. We are going to send it right back up to Puckett and Ben.
Biggest plays there. Scumpy's 2-piece. I think that was the game-changing moment.
It was huge. As soon as he got that 2-piece, you saw his teammates immediately spawn next to him, and they were able to hold down that hill for just a fraction longer. And that's what that game was. It was literally a game of inches. Every single, yeah, that's right, I said it. It was a game of inches. It was just so back and forth. It was a couple of points go in the lead for FaZe, then straight back OpTic Gaming take the lead, and then finally, in the second to last hill, we saw OpTic Gaming get a big enough chunk of time where going into the 3rd hill, all they realistically needed to do was keep contesting.
Now, I apologize to Slasher and Formal. Did not get a chance to see enough of those guys. Right. They both put up some pretty serious numbers, but it just seemed for me that consistently we're seeing Aches pushing the hard point, Sensor pushing the hard point, and on the opposite end, it was really Krim and Nade that went off towards the end of that one. Scump getting some big rotations, locked it up though.
Nate Shaw deserves a lot of props for that game, just for simply the role that he played. At the start, he was top slaying, and he was top slaying for about 3 or 4 minutes, which isn't exactly what you expect to see when you think about OpTic Gaming, when they have so many powerhouse slayers on that team. But then when he finally got overtaken by Crimsix and Scumpy, he was still doing such a good job. He kept up with the slaying, but also the objective-based work he was doing was just T1. It was so necessary, the contesting, and winning those key gunfights on the hardpoint, that's what counts.
Columbus, Ohio, are you guys enjoying this match?
Take that as a yes, then.
FaZe fans out in the crowd, how many of you think they're going to take this search and destroy coming up at game number 2? All right, we got about 35 FaZe fans over here.
I like it. I think I saw Tommy out in the crowd.
3% of you
Actually,
online think OpTic Gaming's going to take it. How many of you in the house think OpTic Gaming's taking this game too? I'd say that's about 94%, Ben.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was a big chair right there. But you know, I'm gonna say it. I want to see it go to the second best of 5. I think the storyline which has been created today has been absolutely phenomenal. You know, Aches, stitches in his hands, playing Call of Duty, the losers bracket run he's been on. You know, Sensor as well, his best performance I've ever personally seen him play at LAN. And let's not forget about Apathy. You know, he struggled a little bit during the weekend, but he's definitely picked things up. And to be honest with you, this whole FaZe team is looking so strong. They really, really are.
We had an incredible game number 1. We're hoping for an even better S&D game number 2 coming up next when we return.